Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Del Mar Racetrack here on Saturday. It is August the 18th, 2018. It's Pacific Classic Day from Del Mar, and I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the card, including the Pacific Classic. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me next Saturday for my Travers Day preview video. It's going to be an excellent card up at the spa. And some great races coming around in the next few weeks, with the Breeders' Cup being right around the corner. And just around the corner by a few years, you're going to have the Breeders' Cup back at Del Mar in 2021. So it's a good week of racing, or great few years of racing, shall we say. But I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Del Mar. Races 6, 8, and 10. Don't know why they couldn't do an all stakes pick 3, but that's why I'm not the boss of anything. But races 6, 8, and 10, let's get on to it. The sixth race from Del Mar, it's the Del Mar Handicap presented by Japan Racing Association. Grade 2 purse, $250,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 12 horses, a dozen horses going the distance of ground of 2,200 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 3/8 on the Del Mar lawn, the turf course. I show the diagram, just gives me a second to look down at my notes, just bear with me. And still, one of life's most, one of life's most difficult questions. Why couldn't last year's Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf be run at 1 3/8? Why was it run at 1 1/8? This year it's going to be run at 1 3/8 again, but last year they couldn't run it at 1 3/8. I don't know why, but that's one of life's most difficult questions. My top selection here, I like the number 10 horse, Ritzy AP, a bit of a long shot at 20-1. I'm going to go 10-1-6-2 in the superfecta, 10-1-6-2 super. To the multi-race now, I'm going to go 10-1, but my top selection, 10 horse, Ritzy AP, 4-year-old colt by English Channel. Tyler Connors on this one for Dan Blacker. This horse started last week at Santa Rosa up in Northern California, mile 16 in the JT Grace handicap. This horse won by 2 1/4 lengths, 80 cents a dollar. Sat back early in the small compact field and got there in the end. A great race for this horse. Could have won by more, but the rider, slowed the horse down at the end. But it was an all-around decent effort. Before that, the 18th of July here at Del Mar, mile in the 16th, an optional 6-2 claimer. This horse finished second by a half length. That day, this horse, broke well, set about mid-pack, but, closed up well where this horse had the lead, but then she got caught right at the wire, but he ran her out there. It wasn't up ahead race, and then before that, Santa Anita, 1 1/4 up 6-2 claimer. Horse finished second by a half length. He had the lead in the stretch from closing up well, then got caught at the wire, but ran a decent effort, and then the Grade 3 All-American at Golden Gate, 1 mile, May the 28th. Horse finished 6th by 5 3/4 lengths, a little bit wide, and I just think the distance was a little bit too short. But all the races this horse has run on this turf course haven't been half bad races. It is one of probably the worst race on this turf course was his only graded race on this turf course, which was the Hollywood Derby, where he finished 6th. But he had, he just went a little bit too fast early on in that race. I think today, from a wide poster, if he stalks and gets a good clear lead, clear position in the top lane, I think he could go away with it. This horse has been crying out for this distance of ground. He's going to get it today, and at 20-1, I'll take a shot with him. He's either going to run a big race or he's going to finish last. There's not going to be any in between, so watch out for him, but I'll take my chances with him. Definitely use on the multi-race. Another horse I'll use on the multi-race would be the 1 horse Kenji Storm, a 6-year-old horse by Stormy Atlantic. Gary Stevens gets the leg up for Philly D'Amato. This horse is most recent out. It came 26th of May at Santa Anita, 1 1/4 in the Charles Whittingham. This horse finished second by 1.5 lengths there. He stalked that day early on, had the lead in stretch, and then he got overtaken by It's in the Post, who loves Santa Anita. It's in the Post is running back in this one today, but he hates Del Mar. He's 10-0 on this turf course with 3 seconds 1/3, and I just don't like him in this spot, and plus he hates his turf course. But It's in the Post at Santa Anita does really well, and this horse just wasn't going to catch him. Before that, Santa Anita, 1 mile and the American Stakes. This horse finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths, a little bit wide, but had a decent turn of foot at the end. It wasn't a bad race. And then before that, Santino, 1 mile off 75 claimer. First start in since July 2017. Horse won by 2 1/4 lengths. Stalked that day and just took off clear in the end. Great race for this horse. I think the mile 3/8 this horse you really like. Good inside post draw. A horse, like I said, you want to use him on the multi-race too, so watch out for him. So to recount my selections for the 6th from Del Mar, it's the Del Mar Handicap presented by the Japan Racing Association. As a top selection here, I'm going to go to the 10 horse Ritzy AP. I'm going to go 10-1-6-2 in the superfecta. I'll go 10-1 in the multi-race. So we're going to head over to race number 8 now from Del Mar. The 8th race, it's the Del Mar Oaks, presented by the Jockey Club. Grade 1 race going for a purse of $300,000. This race is for fillies, 3-year-olds here. Field of 12 horses going the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 on the Del Mar turf course. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8 turf. My top selection here, I like the number 7 horse, the 7 horse who is Colonia. Gonna go 7-4-6-9 in the superfecta. 7-4-6-9 superfecta. I'll single the 7 horse in the multi-race, but my top selection is 7 horse Colonia. 7-2. This 3-0 filly by Champs-Elysees. Joel Rosario's on this one for Grand Motion. This horse's North America debut came about 5 weeks ago now at Arlington, a mile and the 16th in the Hatuf Stakes. This horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. Closing up from the back of the pack, was a little bit wide, but had a great turn of foot from last to first. It was a great run for this horse for a start stateside. They probably sent this horse to America because this horse loves a rock hard, firm ground. She's definitely going to get it today, and I think she'll just cruise over it. You know, her races on heavy ground or wet ground, she just doesn't run well. Before that, the 14th of April, Francis Saint-Cloud, a mile 5/16 in the Prix de la Triomphe, just a basic allowance race, basically. I don't know why they had the name, it was just an allowance race, where this horse finished 5th by 9.5 lengths. The first 2 finishers both win next start out. This horse was just towards the back of the bag and had nothing there. Like I said, didn't like the wet going. And then the 11th of March at Saint-Cloud during a snowstorm. Mile and 1/4 in the Prix Rose de Mai listed stakes there. She finished 11th by 26 1/4 lengths. And again, towards the back of the bag most race. Never got into it. And then before that, Shunti on the all-weather. Mile 3/8 in allowance race. She finished 3rd by 1/4 lengths. She, kind of, hung a little bit in the straightaway. But, she did run okay there. And then before that, she broke the main at Deauville on the all-weather going mile 3/16 very easily, won by a neck. She had a decent turn of foot and fought back. Good race for this horse. Like I said, coming to America with the Lasix, also the firm ground, which she'll really like. I'll take my chances. 7-2. She's a single in the multi-race. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Del Mar, it's the Del Mar Oaks, the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. Gonna go with the 7 horse Colonia. Gonna go 7-4-6-9 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 10 from Del Mar. It's the feature race of the afternoon. It's the feature race of Del Mar. The 10th race, it's the $1 million Pacific Classic. Grade 1 purse, $1 million. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going to the post. The distance of ground, the classic distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.25 miles on the Del Mar main track. 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles. Prep race for the Breeders' Cup Classic coming up in about 8 weeks time, 7 weeks time, something like that. Actually, about 12 or 11 weeks time, something like that. Not 8 weeks time. It's not 2 months away. It's almost 3 months away. But great prep race for the Classic here. My top selection, I'm not going to use Accelerate. I'm not a very big fan of him. I just feel like he's winning against the nobody horses. But this is a quite tough group here today, and I just think there's a horse that's a little bit better than him on paper. That's going to be the 7 horse Pavel. I'm going to go 7-2-5-1 in the superfecta. 7-2-5-1 super. I'll go 7-2 in the multi race. Not going to use Accelerate in any of the multis, but my top selection, the 7 horse Pavel, 4-year-old colt by Creative Cause. Mario Gutierrez is on this one for Doug O'Neill. This horse's most recent outing came the 16th of June at Churchill, a mile and the 8th in the Grade 1 Stephen Foster handicap. This horse won by 3 3/4 lengths there. Stalked off the pace early on, but had a great turn of foot. It just took off clear. Good victory for this horse. If you also remember that night at Churchill, it was a wickedly humid night. Under the lights, with the humidity, I think they were saying it was like 110 degrees on the track, so a lot of horses weren't, handling it that night. Horse out of this race actually didn't handle it. The Grand Motion horse, Irish Warcry, hated the humidity and the heat. This horse, just he loved it. He took off clear. He should be used to it. He's from California, well, California based. He's a Kentucky bred, but this horse took clear in the Stephen Foster. Before that, in the Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter, made 26th. First start off the layoff, first start back from Dubai. He finished fourth by 9 3/4 lengths, and he needed the race. I think just all that said and done. And then before then, Dubai World Cup at Maidan, a mile and a quarter fast ground, 31st of March. Horse finished fourth by 7 3/4 lengths. Nobody was catching Thunder Snow, who's actually running back next week in England in the Jedmont International at York. Nobody was catching Thunder Snow that day. It wasn't his day to win. West Coast was a good second, but Thunder Snow was just a little bit better on that very speed favoring race course. And then before then, this hand Pasquale at Santa Anita, Monday, February 3rd. He finished fourth by 4.5 lengths. And again, he had a disaster trip. If he had a little bit of clear trip, he could have got a better position, probably even won. But just disaster trip there. And then the Malibu at Santa Anita, 7/8 miles, 26th of December. Horse finished fourth by 5.5 lengths, and again that day was a little bit wide, and the distance might have been too short. I think here a mile and a quarter, which you'll like a lot. I think he's going to run a big one. So watch out for him. He's been training well. Another horse I'll use here in the Maldives would be the 2-horse Dr. Door. It's 5-year-old gelding by Looking at Lucky. Joe Talmo gets the mount for Bob Baffert. This horse ran second in the local prep race for this race at Del Mar a few weeks ago in the San Diego. Finished second by 6 3/4 lengths behind Catalina Cruiser, a stablemate of Accelerate. This horse was just a little bit, just lacked that good closing kick that day. It wasn't the day to win, but it was an improvement off the start before it came to the Suburban 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before that at Belmont, mile and a quarter, July 7th. Horse finished ninth by 12.5 lengths. He stalked early on, but was just too wide around the far turn and couldn't keep up with him. That Versafy just ran a hell of a race, and then went to start out in the Whitney a few weeks ago. And then the most recent, good race, very good race for this horse came in the Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter, May 26th. This horse finished second by 4.5 lengths. He set the pace early on, maybe a little bit too fast, which cost him at the end, but he ran okay there. And then he won the California very easily at Santa Anita, going mile and 8th on the 28th of April, won by 7 1/4 lengths, took off clear. I think here, if he stalks a little bit today, I think he can get the jump on Accelerate at the end. 6-1. He'll be used on the multi-race, so watch out. So to recap my selections for the 10th from Del Mar, it's the $1 million TVG Pacific Classic. As a top selection, I'm going to use the 7-horse Pavel. I'm going to go 7-2-5-1 in the superfecta. I'll go 7-2 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5.